Oh, and are the pillows feather or foam?
Yes.
Sorry, which one?
I don't care.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I was just asking.
And I'm very much looking forward to the moment when that stops.
It doesn't matter. I don't know what about you, and it matters. It matters. Just get us something. There's a registry. You go on it, and you pick something.
It's the Al Travis Show, and a dear friend of the program. We just love this cat. He wrote a book called The Leftover Soul, Pondering Life in Modern America by John Knaus. John, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Pleasure to be with you again, Al.
Oh, no, it's ours. You got pretty busy on us. We've had you on for folks who are relative new, Rochester, that area, those areas, Mankato. John wrote The Leftover Soul, and if I give the 30-second elevator of this, basically, you were raised a staunch Democrat. You had a Democratic family. You were Mr. Democrat as you understood it. And then as you grew older, and I'm putting you in my age bracket, somewhere in there, as you grow older, you got the feeling the party left you. You didn't necessarily read the party. The book, I'm going to tell you right now, I liken it to The Christmas Story. Written in that. You read it in that kind of the voice of your own head, saying, oh, this is how it used to be kind of stuff. I absolutely love this book. Am I wrong in that 30-second elevator book? You go through all the different kind of trials and tribulations in a regular man's life and why it's how you look at it. I just love this.
You got it. You nailed it right on the head. You really get it because it's almost kind of like a guidebook to coping with modern life. You know, the computer stuff is in there. The neighbor stuff is in there. You know, you can kind of read it out of order in any chapter you like, and it makes sense. But it's the more we press into the future, I think the more relevant the book becomes. Because
100%.
I almost predicted some of the things that were going on. You know, that came out in early 24.
Yeah.
And, you know, 6, 8, 10 weeks later or a few months later, some of those topics are our hottest news in the country. So.
And I mean this in all. You're just a working stiff, right? Your boss lets you do this with me. Where do you work?
I work.
Let's give a plug.
I gotta say thank you so much to my friends, my coworkers at Berkeley Honda in White Bear Lake. They're an awesome dealership. I just have a ball with them, and they treat the customers so well. If you're looking for a Honda, come out and see us.
And they do that, back to letting you do this radio show with me. I'm very excited to hear a couple of things on your thoughts, because again, I think my Republican Party's kind of left me a bit. I know you feel left with your Democratic Party. I want to talk politics, but first I want to hear, when we left you last, your daughter was getting married. How'd the wedding go?
You know, I have to be careful what I say. I always tell people when they ask that, I said, it went off without a hitch.
Okay.
But if I say that, it's like, well, isn't that the point? They're supposed to get hitched. So
yeah. Good point. I like that a ton. Give us the gist of it, though. My son got married, and the barn wedding was a thing. So we went out in the middle of no place and rented a barn. Was it a barn wedding, traditional, church wedding? What kind of wedding was it to begin with?
It was a barn style wedding, kind of out near Minnetonka, and that on like a farm with animals and
nice.
Lovely venue. It really went off perfect. It was the right number of guests. We had about 80 guests, 10 per table.
There you go.
But the funny thing was, we had the groom's dinner the night before, and the groom showed me or told me about like an itinerary that she had. Like, everybody's supposed to be like, for the wedding, you're supposed to be here at 11:15. You eat lunch at 11:20. You take these photos at 11:40. It was this long, drawn out list, organized. And I thought, oh my God, that reminds me of me, because on like Wednesday night, my best friend, I bring him a list so I don't take up all the time. I never saw the itinerary, but I guess everybody was at the right places at the right time.
Oh, that's funny.
She looked beautiful and happy.
And that's what it's all about. Now, are you the guy? I find myself as I get older, just willing to step back. Whatever you want. If this is the list, just point me in that direction. I'll go do it. I can't put myself into why and what are you doing and stop doing. I will go nuts. Are you the guy? Or are you just like, let me help add stuff to your list to make sure okay, whatever you want. Wife, point me in the right direction.
Yep, I'm exactly what you said, because it's like I don't want to get corralled into more things because I get overwhelmed and blow a circuit. It's like I don't want to be in charge. I'm
Yep.
just gonna stand back, let you do your thing. If you need me, I'm here.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'll just be quiet, have my beer, and
There you go.
roll with things and have a ball. So,
Well, congratulations on that. That was the last thing we had chatted about. The last time you were on the air is the daughter's wedding coming up. Now I want to ask you a couple of things.
sure.
Just your perspective on them that has happened. Of course, we get through the legislative session and we have to go into overtime.
Oh yeah.
Happens more often than not anymore. And you kind of expect that to be done. And then the tragedy happens with the Hoffmans and the Hortmans, the shooting. Um, what were your responses? What were your friends' responses with all that happened that Saturday morning when you realized there were Democrats that were dead, there were Democrats that were shot, and would they survive? What were and then the guy was on the loose for whatever it was, 40 hours. What were your thoughts about all that, John?
Well, here's an interesting take on that, because the Saturday morning that happened, that was actually the Saturday morning of the wedding.
Oh, it was. Oh,
Yes.
goodness. Okay.
And it happened over in Brooklyn Park, which is where my daughter lives. So
Oh,
they had things
wow.
cordoned off, but she was fortunately not home.
Yeah.
I had out of town relatives, again, big Democrats. But our reaction is, in our country, I don't care if you're Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican, this sort of thing should not happen. It
Wait a
just,
minute.
I would never wish it on anybody. And, I think back to last summer when President Trump got the assassination attempts. And I had people in my life that were, less than, mourning about it, sympathy, they were like,
Yeah.
oh, darn, and
You
it's like,
missed. Yeah.
it's
That's
like,
not
I
cool.
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do any either side. So my heart broke for the Hoffmans and that. And,
Oh, yeah.
it's just the rhetoric's got to come down, because one thing that really upset me was like 2 weeks earlier, there was a sound bite somewhere that Governor Walz was talking. The Democrats need to be meaner, in pushing their agenda, and they need to be meaner. And it's like, I hate to say this, but it's like, in some of my experiences, and I detail them in the book, is that possible? For Democrats to be meaner?
Well, and I think it can be, John. Here's the difference, and you tell me. The Democrats currently, like you say, he comes out, we got to be meaner. They seem to feel they're losing because Orange Man bad, he's badder than us, so we got to meet him there. Are they not reading the room? Because you and I both agree that's not what we want. None of us want to see this go any meaner, any nastier, any more to this, polarization. Are the politicians, both sides, not reading the room?
They're not. The way I look at it, the way they should read the room is, as a voter, I'm a customer.
Yep.
It's like I've got a $10 bill for lunch, and
Yep.
there's two burger joints across the street from each other. Joint A, joint B. Okay, joint A, what have you got? Value menu, this, that, the other thing. Sell me on your brand.
Yep.
Joint B, what have you got? Sell me on your brand. But joint A, don't just tell me, hey, shut up and eat here or you're bad. Or if you go to joint B, you're terrible. They suck. That's the kind of thing. They're not engaging me as a voter, as a customer. Sell me on the brand. I want to hear why it is that if I vote for a Democrat, it's going to make my life better. Or if I vote for a Republican, how is my life going to get better? And that's where they're losing. I think both sides are losing it.
Is it they're losing old guys like us who are we've seen enough, we're full of it? Is this going after a play for younger kids, the younger voters who are still got enough energy to get riled up anymore? Is it common sense? Why are they missing that? Because you and I, we both raised differently. We're in the exact same boat. Just stop it. Sell me your hamburger, but don't tell me why the other guys are so bad.
Right. And I'll tell you, in the midterms and in 28, that's exactly the way I'm going to approach I'm going to approach my voting that way. It's like, okay, you guys are selling me a hamburger. Who's got the better? Show me your stuff.
There you go. I love that.
And if not, I'm going to the other side.
and tell me how nice your secret sauce is. We got to go to break. When I come back, I want to ask you about, even because this is amazing me, your daughter's wedding was that day of the shooting and stuff. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I had some of my kids over that weekend, and the way of getting information, as soon as that came out, there were shootings. They couldn't get off their phones, and I don't know what X app, other apps, all this stuff they had. Everything came flooding to them so fast before you ever got it on TV, our old standard. We'll talk about how kids get their information after this with John Knaus. He wrote the book, The Leftover Soul. I swear you're going to love it. Get it wherever you get your books.
Dust from gravel roads and driveways does more than make your car dirty inside and out. It gets down into your lungs, and it's bad for your health. Now there's an environmentally friendly solution for your dust problems. It's called Dust Lock. Dust Lock can control all your summer dust problems with just one application. Protect your vehicle and your lungs. Learn more at dustlock.com.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Are you kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS-SHOW.
We've got him. Love having him on. He is John Knaus. He wrote The Leftover Soul. Again, a great book. Be sure to pick it up. John, I found when all that happened that Saturday, the difference between myself and my children, obviously big differences, but I would generally have gotten all my information from the television, right? I mean, I remember when Reagan got shot, we all ran home after school. We heard about it at school, sat down and watched the news all night long.
Right.
These kids today, were so far ahead of what was going on. I got a note pretty early in the morning. I would talk to the kids, hey, this is going on. They got on all these little websites and things, and they were getting news before the TVs could come out or the radio guys, because they got to get 3, confirmed, whatever, make sure it's legit. They knew what was going on well before anybody else. And then that phone, they were on that thing for hours following along what was going on. What was you guys had a wedding to do, and I presume half the people were on their phone most of the time.
It was funny because I actually found out about it that morning on TV, and it was a miracle that we did, because my daughter had given us a smart TV, and we got it hooked up, but we couldn't get the cable working, so we literally got 3 channels, for like 2 months. We had All Day Green Acres, All Day Price is Right, and All Day Little House on the Prairie. That's what we could watch. And my brother Jimmy rigged the thing so we got like the cable news and stuff like that, and that was the first like real television we had. But that popped right up, and we were watching stuff unfold. But we didn't have a particularly young crowd with us that was on the phones and that. But I know that a lot of times somebody will text me something that, hey, this happened. And it's like, that'll be the first I hear of it, because I'm not necessarily on the phone.
Yeah, no, I understand. Let me ask you one more question, political wise, because I'm be interested in this. Obviously, we talk about all the shooting stuff. That's one level of horror. This Senator Mitchell case, where she was just found guilty of sneaking into her mom's bedroom and sneaking into her house and then crawling around her bedroom.
Right.
I wanted very much to believe that wasn't why it was happening. I mean, she had said she's going to have a great story. When you hear my story, everything's going to change. It didn't. This woman did it. It was a terrible decision. She has decided to wait a couple of weeks before she resigns. She wants to get another month's worth of checks and another, month of health insurance for her kid. That kind of ticks me off. She did this 15 months ago, and now she's found guilty of 2 felonies. And she'll let us know when she's done taking checks. What are your thoughts on that, John?
It's not surprising. It's very typical. I'm surprised she's not pushing it out longer, like October or something.
I said on the show yesterday, because I went completely wrong. Nothing keeps her from not, because the governor says he doesn't look to have a special session, so they can't boot her.
Right.
She has no reason not to go till mid-February when they come back, because as soon as they come back, they'll boot her. So she, my opinion, is doing this wrong. If she's going to be selfish as all get out, take the checks till January. But she does say she'll take 2 weeks because she wants another check. That's not cool.
Yeah, I'll give her credit for keeping it 2 weeks and not February. But this stuff it's so typical for politicians on both sides. If your political career ends in disgrace, you should step down immediately. Let people carry on with the business of government. Let people carry on with getting things back in order. Why wait the 2 weeks? It's just for a check, probably.
John, I think you hit on something. We have changed being a politician from a duty. I want to do my civic duty to help my neighbors out, to a job. This is now my check. This is now my health insurance. I got to do what's right by me. I'm going to wait a couple of weeks before I resign. It's now a job. It's now nothing more than that. It isn't doing the right thing for the people. It's just taking care of your own.
It is, and we're guilty of it on both sides. But again, here we have this wonderful, whether you like President Trump or care less for him, we've got an opportunity. He's shaking things up. And that's why he's either super popular or super not popular. This is the time we should be having the discussions on how to change this and how to fix this.
I love it, John.
And if we don't, we're wasting the opportunity.
John, I am running out of time. I'm so glad you came on the program. If someone wanted to pick up the book, and again, I cannot tell you, how much I like this book, The Leftover Soul, Pondering Life in Modern America by John Knaus. That's KN, by the way, if you're going to look him up. Where can I get it, John? Can I still get it? Still being published?
It's still being published. It's exclusively on Amazon.com. If you type in the information, you can't miss it.
John, thanks for taking the time. Tell your boss, appreciate him letting you off to come out here and do this.
I will. Thank you to the folks at Berkeley Honda, and thank you again, Al.
All right. John Knaus on the Al Travis Show.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests